This week's episode of The Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Squarespace.
Gamefly. Check out gamefly.com/TTRS to receive a free trial.
And Netflix. Go to netflix.com/TRS and get a free trial membership.
Three rad bros land in San Diego. Big plans are a go to host a live show. Something's wrong though, says their cabbie Mo. Someone's blocked them. Oh, wait, it's Neo. Whoa, I'll guide you, he goes, through panels and shows. But change those plain clothes as cosplayers will pose. Now they can depose film news, game demos. So cheer and say bravo at this live Totally Rad Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Totally Rad Show, episode number 175. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show is where we lead us of all things rad, and this week, of course, we are back at Comic Con. We're going to do a whole Comic Con extravaganza, which is my favorite word when it comes to conventions, the extravaganza.
That's right.
You can see the wall of nerd shirts behind us.
Yeah, the convention center goes on for like 16 miles that direction.
Right, yeah.
And we're just hitting the show floor for the first time right now, getting ready to
buy some stuff that we don't need, buy some stuff that we do need.
Stuff I don't need here.
Look at things that we're not going to buy but admire.
Yeah,
Yes.
that we can't afford, but we wish we could.
All of these things and more coming up. Stick tuned.
And our panel stuff.
That's the more.
No, nothing yet.
Everybody.
I think it's better this way.
Wait for it.
Let's move on.
Let's just get another mic.
Thanks for coming, guys. Very cool.
I think he's turning up all the other mics. Check.
So here's the thing. How many people here have seen...
Oh, they're off.
Whoa.
I can do something so stupid that Dan just goes, awesome.
That should have been me. That should have
been you.
Yeah.
Of all the people, really? It was both the not Dans. How is that even possible?
All right, so how many people have been to a live Comic-Con panel of ours before?
Wow. So just so that we know, even though we can kind of glean, how many people are new to Comic-Con, TRS panels?
All right.
Somehow that wasn't everybody.
So we have some special guests.
We've got special guests. We've got gifts. How many people here got a copy of The Lost Room? All right.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get here early. Amazing. So we got some other great gifts. We got some fun friends.
Our moms are here again.
Fun friends. Our moms. Stand up, moms. Stand up, moms.
Applaud our moms.
No, moms, you have to stand up. Get up. They made.
Hi, Mom.
Show the capes.
They have
made
capes.
Totally Rad Show capes.
Our moms are better cosplayers than we are.
Yeah.
Every time we come to Comic-Con, every time we always go, we need to dress up next year for Comic-Con.
And Dan
says
goes,
no. And then Dan shows up in like a dress shirt.
Grimace.
Yeah. Like Grimace.
And in purple, I don't know.
Grimace at like at the prom. He's like, I just got a coat and put it over myself.
Sadly, I took Grimace to the prom. I mean, she wasn't actually
Oh my
Grimace.
God. Some poor woman at home was like, I used to date Jeff. He knew my secret
you know
wish.
who you
yeah,
are.
no, I like this. We're getting this thing. So we're gonna talk. We have some guests. We're gonna do a Q&A about halfway through the show.
And everybody that asks us a question is going to get a cool prize.
Super
Think
cool
of cool
prize.
questions, cooler prizes.
We do. We scale. But we wanted to start off the show basically by doing a quick recap of all the stuff we've seen so far. So now, how many people have seen some cool, crazy stuff so far? Smattering. I'll take a smattering.
some people are like, you know what? I've seen a bunch of crap.
That
seen a
happens.
ton of crap
That can't happen. We saw some panels that were like.
So let's get into that.
Saving
Is this
our
on?
seat.
Am I on? Yes.
You're on.
Okay, so
Look at that jacket. Of course you're on. Yeah. Be here all day.
So, the first stuff we saw in Hall H was Tron.
Tron, a little movie you may have heard about.
And Tron is something we've talked about every Comic-Con.
No, Tron is the thing that you were like, oh, you guys left for the bathroom?
That was 2 years ago.
Didn't see
That was 2
Tron.
years ago.
And
yeah,
the
I still
scars,
hurt.
the scars are still there.
And Jeff, you posed an interesting question to me about Tron, and we're
I did.
gonna answer that question here today. I forgot what it was, so remind me.
Well, I think that all of us were looking at the footage they showed for Tron, and Jeff Bridges came out. It looks really cool from a design point of view.
We should mention too, I think the biggest reveal of this viewing of Tron was that they have digitally recreated a younger Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, 35-year-old Jeff Bridges.
So he's sort of
Pretty
acting
amazing.
against
But also
himself.
in the real world as well. Like that was the crazy thing was
wasn't
seeing
just
him in the real world.
Tronverse.
Yeah, so he's
not
like
sure.
has
Do I have a
scenes
booger or
against
something?
himself.
Okay.
But no, they're laughing at young
Jeff Bridges?
I
Okay.
think so.
I don't think so.
So yeah.
So I think and we were looking at the.
By the way, this is us speeding through everything we saw.
the
I heard a groan. It's like, oh, I'd hate to see the extended cut.
the scenes that they showed were light on story and acting and heavy on action and design. And I think that the question that we were all asking ourselves is the movie going to be cool just from a design perspective, and will that carry the experience? So will it be a good enough movie even if just the action stuff works? And if all of
Yes.
the other stuff falls completely flat.
Oh, sorry. I'll wait.
I mean, honestly, is that?
Yeah, of course, dude. I would sit. I mean, it's like watching a crazy, hyped up Daft Punk video.
Yeah.
I watch that for 2 hours. I don't care. They could stop. It could literally be a silent film, and I would get some.
A silent film is not a music video.
Well, it could be a silent music video, like just the ball bouncing. But yeah, I mean, for me, the visuals are enough for me to be excited and to get some enjoyment out of it. I hope there's also a great story.
Yeah, I think if it's
End of line.
If it's well said.
Thank you.
I think
How did I get a groan?
if it's
little on the nose.
if it's terrible, there's no way. If it's terrible, it's terrible. It doesn't matter how cool it looks. You hated Transformers, and that movie looked awesome.
This is true.
Although we both liked it.
Agreed.
But I will say that upon revisiting the original very recently, I realized something that I wasn't just bored when I was a kid because I was a kid and I had a lower attention span. I was still kind of bored watching. It's a cool movie. It's
So
cool.
do you think
but
that
Tron's a little boring.
Do you think that the idea of Tron is better than the actual movie of Tron?
Yeah, I mean, but there is very cool stuff in it, and not only that.
some people think so.
smattering.
Yeah.
Feel free to agree with me at any time.
But
And feel free to disagree often.
one thing I did realize was that even the live action scenes in Tron are amazingly well shot. They're very like Stanley Kubrick, and I didn't process that as a kid, and I think that's something that even made people talk about the special effects in the original, but I think the fact that it was so strikingly shot, even in the live action scenes, made it a better movie.
Good sentence.
Good sentence. It ended with movie.
So I think I mean if it's terrible, it's terrible, but if it's cheesy, which some of the acting did look like in the footage that we saw, I think if it's cheesy but everything is so creative and imaginative, I'm still down because it still looks.
I agree with you, and I would even draw a distinction between that and Transformers in the sense that Tron, I don't think is gonna be. It may be cheesy, but it won't be. There's not gonna be, the two joke Transformers that make the like racist comments.
In the sequel. But
I
they
don't know.
were
I
not
saw
there in
some
the first
really
one.
racist stuff in there.
In Tron,
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I was just
racist
in that
against
mood.
people
I don't
who
know what
glow.
happened with people
It's
that
glowist.
glow. Hey, there's a red versus blue in there. I see that.
So let's move on.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
multiple things.
There was also a huge announcement at the Disney panel that Guillermo del Toro is going to be producing a Haunted Mansion movie. But
Yes.
not a remake of the Eddie Murphy movie, not a comedy at all either, but a hardcore. I don't know about hardcore, but a scary movie.
That was the weirdest
and take
announcement.
it literally and seriously.
It was also the weirdest announcement because it was like a roller coaster. It was like somebody's gonna come in and redo a. I mean, it literally was a roller coaster, but
or a ride.
Or a ride, but it literally they were like, "What property would you like remade?" And everyone's like, "Oh, Haunted Mansion." Wait, what? Really? And they were like, "Who would you want to do it?" And we were like, "Oh." It was like Guillermo del Toro, and you're like, "Yes, actually, thank you. That was amazing." But it was such a weird. And then they were like, "Eddie Murphy's gonna not be in it." Woo!
Huge cheer for someone not being in something.
And I've never seen that other one. It could be a great family movie, and I don't know, but all right, good.
Yeah.
We were just moving on.
My question about that one was great artist property combination or greatest artist property combination?
I don't know what that means.
I think
Yes.
I think Del Toro doing a Disney Haunted Mansion movie is like although we did find out he's not directing it.
Yeah, but he's writing and producing, so that.
I'll tell you my issue with it is that I really like Devil's Backbone, which is funny. It's been brought up a lot today with Guillermo del Toro. But I don't.
One applause.
I don't really love any of his other movies, and a lot of people do. I just don't. In fact, the problems that I have with specifically Pan's Labyrinth is that it does feel like a ride, and it feels like things a lot like Alice in Wonderland, which that is that genre of story. But things are just happening. There's no real. It's a visual ride, but I never feel any real suspense or drama in his movies. It just feels like things are things are happening.
Right.
So I'm worried about Haunted Mansion feeling that way.
Well, I think if it's just an experience of a scary movie, I don't need it to be a great narrative. I want the experience of going in and seeing spectacular visuals, and I think that's what makes it so great, is because as much as the design of Pan's Labyrinth is amazing, I didn't love the movie because I felt like the story, the narrative didn't get me. And I think that having Haunted Mansion, it doesn't imply narrative, and maybe that's better.
Interesting.
On the flip side, he's also producing another flick that we saw the trailer and footage of called, it's a remake of Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Has anyone seen the original Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? Wow.
Hands.
Why
Show of
hands?
hands. A
I
show
like
of hands.
Very
Six,
polite, very
seven
polite.
people.
Yes.
I like that. It's very polite.
Which looked terrifying. So
Oh, I screamed. I screamed like a baby girl.
Dude, the freaking.
Like a tiny baby being attacked by wolves.
I guess the basic premise is that
They scream.
exactly
I
what it
assume
was,
they
yeah.
scream when that happens.
back in
They're
the
actually quite
day,
quiet. They're play dead. What?
I'm just going to sum it up. Back in the day, some crazy stuff happens in an old house,
it's happening.
and it's in the bottom of the chimney of this house.
An ash pit, which, by the way,
Yeah.
it may just be because he's foreign, but that even by itself creeped me out.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it's in the ash pits of the house. I was like, what the? We have ash pits in our house? Does every house have ash pits?
Anyway, and these things in the dark take children away.
No. They eat children's teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a brutal
not
sequence
cool.
with.
Amazing sequence
Teeth.
where this guy tries to steal this chick's teeth with a chisel and a hammer.
Yeah.
He didn't try. He succeeded. He did
So
pretty
that
well.
I
was
thought that
awesome,
might have
right?
been a spoiler.
How do you guys feel about that? Amazing?
Dude, the sound of the chisel on her teeth. Yes, but here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of like the torture gore, like the gore torture movies, like Saw and all that stuff. This was that. Like you could see that moment being done in Saw or Saw 17 or whatever they're up to now. But the fact that the way that it was played in this, you got the same like, but it didn't feel like you were like, oh, I'm just watching this poor person being tortured.
Yeah, it was
You know
what
I
they
mean?
didn't show you that was even scary.
So we also saw 2 alien invasion movies.
Yeah.
Very
saw-
odd, very similar alien invasion movies.
We saw Battle Los Angeles, which is from Jonathan Liebesman. I forgot to look up. I know he did Darkness Falls, and I think he did a movie, if someone can correct me, if he did a movie right before this one. But Battle Los Angeles is Michelle Rodriguez and Aaron
Yeah,
Eckhart.
Aaron
And it's
Eckhart.
basically a Black Hawk Down, but in LA with an alien invasion. And
Yeah, it's like real gritty.
So that's exactly
handheld
like
war.
Black Hawk Down, right?
and then
Black Hawk Down, except for all of these reasons,
And
it's
then
not.
Skyline is an alien invasion movie, except from the perspective of a 20-something group of friends trapped in their apartment.
It's Cloverfield, but with aliens.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
Well, but it's not as found.
thing-
It's not as found footage as Cloverfield, but
Which is so Bat LA is more doc style, and this is a more traditional movie with an alien invasion premise. That's why I'm sort of interested in Skyline, because District 9 and Cloverfield gave us those invasion movies in this unique experimental way, and I feel like I could be up for like a straight up hard version of that.
I don't know,
and
dude.
the aliens in Skyline are these massive, they're like Transformers, but they're aliens. Like
and they're
that
organic,
scale.
but Transformers.
And the effects looked amazing.
Well,
the
they're visual
acting,
effects
maybe not, I
guys.
don't know, yeah.
They're visual effects guys, and I have to say there are two things that came out of this, and then I'll whatever they do in politics, and that's a saying, and I forgot it. But anyway, yield the floor. Thank you. The two quick things were, one, I loved how they made this movie. These were guys that said, why is it so hard to get a movie greenlit in LA? And then Paranormal Activity came out and they went, God, this is just guy with a camera made a movie. And then they went, wait, we have very, very expensive cameras that we own. Why don't we just do that? I love that, and I want to give them props for that.
They're visual effects artists that own a production company.
Yeah, so they just went, I'm doing it in my house. So they like shot it in one of the guys' houses, which is a gorgeous house. But the second thing, I was going to say was, I'm a little worried because the trailer looked okay. I mean, it looked visually cool. But when they were talking about what this movie is and how this movie, the concept of this movie, it was bone chilling. I mean, because they basically said that we are like moths to a flame when it comes to accidents and things. Like if you see a car, everybody slows down. And it's like, oh, I wonder what happened, looking around. And they had this concept of what if aliens saw that in us and used that against us. So basically, they make these big lights, and if you stare at the lights, you start to get screwed up and get sucked into the alien ship. That is creepy, man! Because I would totally be that guy who's like, anyway, I was just, what the? Hey, get out of the way, man! I gotta see this! Hey, shoom, up into some alien ship!
Yeah.
But and so I'm excited about that. I don't know if that came across to me in the trailer. It was like, when they were talking about the movie, it got me more ramped about it.
Well,
than when I saw it.
you know, it's not even done,
Sure.
and they're teasery.
I'm much more excited about Battle Los Angeles. I think it looks awesome. I love Aaron Eckhart, and the idea of like, I mean, it's basically a video game. It's basically Halo. You know, it's like a war, a full-on modern warfare style war, but the bad guys are aliens. And there was just a small little glimpse of what the aliens look like, and it looked like, you know, they weren't just reptilian whatever. They looked like they had armor and they were warriors.
Oh, yeah, and they had guns, and there was like
badass.
It even seemed like they might be machines, and that was the exciting thing about both these movies is that they weren't bug-eyed, you know, Communion or
or like
Encounter
a
aliens.
thousand reptilian
Right,
style,
exactly. They were
or
both
insect.
Yes.
Although I could use some more reptile
They were
aliens.
more machine-based or humanoid or whatever, and I
saying.
thought that was pretty cool. The
the
one thing that
filmmakers
worried
out
me
there.
about Battle LA is that they mentioned that it should feel like you're in a first-person shooter, and even you're referencing video games now, and I worry that there's a lot of
There was an
the
actual
way it's
Doom shot. There was a
that's
Doom
like
shot.
cameras attached to like you're in the perspective of the thing, and that kind of filmmaking always takes me out of the experience, rather than what happens in Black Hawk Down, which it feels like you're observing a real event.
Yeah.
It gave me the other
poignant.
feeling. Okay.
Poignant.
We saw yet another two movies that are alike in they're sort of postmodern, post-kick-ass superhero movies
I was like, where are we
with
going with this?
Red and Super.
Yep.
So Red is
Based
Red
on the
stands for
Warren Ellis 3-issue limited series that was
Yep.
put out by Vertigo, I believe.
right.
And
Red stands for
Retired, extremely dangerous.
right.
I think.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And it stars Bruce Willis.
Yep.
And Helen Mirren and Morgan Freeman and John Malkovich as retired badass CIA people who
Yep.
have to like do one last job, like A-Team basically. Which is why I think that movie looks amazing, because typically that premise would be the old people would be like. Actually, you know, it's funny. Expendables is another flick that we're going to talk about,
Yeah.
and it would be that age. It would be old, like late 30s or 40s people playing the old, I got my one last job, or Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 4. But this is like old people, really old people. I love old people.
I love old
Nothing against
first
old people.
off, Helen Mirren with a frickin' AK-47.
Yeah, I had a dream like that
I
once.
am in.
I had a dream about
She
that.
looks like a badass. I mean, I was like,
It's almost like
Yeah, the queen's gonna kick your ass.
yeah, right.
it's like how cool and hilariously ironic it was to see Hit Girl kicking ass.
Yes.
It is with these elderly but virile.
Elderly. Helen Mirren just went, what?
She's gonna kick
It
your
looks-
ass.
My only issue with it is that one of the things that made Kick-Ass so special was the way it was photographed in such a stylized way. This looked very ordinary to me. Red.
Dude, are you kidding me?
What they're
Bruce
doing
Willis,
is cool.
360 sliding car, door opens, steps out, shoots dude. What?
What
How ordinary is
cool.
that?
Yes.
No, what he's doing
Yes,
is cool. I meant the
slow
photography.
clap indeed.
Yeah.
That is slow clap worthy.
It's like I'm in Rudy.
Candy.
And that's why, as seniors, we will never take. No, I don't know.
I thought that was a rousing thing.
No,
I couldn't help myself.
I totally agree with you. You're right. That it was very shot very mundanely, but
Right.
it was. I was in for the action.
My only
And
little
frickin'
sadness is
hysterical.
that it is nothing like Warren Ellis's book. I mean, nothing. Which is a violent, rough, lean. It's basically just a retired guy killing people.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh, but there's fun other sidekicks and wackiness. and I think the movie can be really great. I wish I could have seen that other Red as well, which
Isn't that Taken though? Isn't that? Do we?
yeah,
have
but it
things
would have
like
been.
that?
But he like breaks back into the CIA, which I think they're gonna do in this movie too. But
Yeah.
the sort of brutality and ruthlessness, and you don't mess with an older dude. This is gonna be like, you don't mess with older people because we can get ya. You know.
Amazing.
Break
First
down
off, that's
musical
why I
numbers.
never mess with old
Secondly,
people.
we should also mention really quick, huge apology to our moms for calling them elderly people, referring to anybody over
my
50.
mom is not
I was like,
elderly.
I didn't
people in
call
this
my
movie-
mom
My mom is not
elderly.
elderly.
You were referring to people over 50. I mean, they're not that
I did not
old.
say that.
John Malkovich is not an older person, an elderly man.
I don't know what you said. I think they just said stop
They said
talking
move on.
about
Move on.
us.
Move on.
Moving on.
Super is from James Gunn, who wrote Dawn of the Dead, but wrote and directed Slither and the internet thing, PG porn, and it stars Rainn Wilson as a disgruntled dude that, because of his disgruntledness, decides to don a superhero
Felt that
outfit
happening.
and take revenge on all the people that have. It's kind of like Office Space in a way, in just that they
Yeah.
have been shit on all their lives, and now
Right.
they're gonna take it all back. But they're
Instead
superheroes.
of coming up with a plan to siphon money off, they just hit people in the face with a wrench.
Right.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion is in it, as well as
Ellen Page. Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
Others. Michael Rooker.
What did you guys think of this? So very violent.
Yeah.
I will say that James. What?
Where you go? Like, what do you think of it?
I know.
I will
And then you
say.
started saying other things, and I was like, fuck that. I'm just.
Man, he's sassy with that jacket on.
So James Gunn's roots are in trauma films, and I loved Toxic Avenger growing up, but
Yeah.
I think since then I've never really enjoyed that aesthetic or that sentiment that's in those movies, and I feel like he's never let that go. And it's props to Zack Snyder in directing Dawn of the Dead. I'm so glad that he did, because I worried that maybe if James Gunn had been able to direct that movie, it would have been in this style. And by this style I mean just the violence that is supposed to be funny. It's just not funny to me, and
Yeah.
it's sort of a low rent gore that people really do enjoy. That Slithers like that, and
Yeah. I think you.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, I think you really nailed it on the head. For me, it's one of those things that, like, when we reviewed Kick-Ass, one of the things that I had a problem with that movie was that once it took a turn away from comedy in the violence and really got to the serious violence, and they were in serious peril, and you really felt that, it just didn't vibe with me. I was like, whoa, that is way too serious for what you're trying to do. And I always felt that way about James Gunn, that the stuff it's, oh my God, isn't this funny, as I hit this person in the face really hard and he starts to bleed and then fall over and die. And you go, it could be, but what you're showing is not funny. And it really just makes you go, what? Why would anybody put that on? You know what I mean? So, and I think you're right. There are people that can understand that humor, and for me, it just doesn't connect with me. So the whole movie sort of falls apart. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm assuming that in the trailer, the whole movie kind of falls apart because I'm like, I'm not along with that one little notch of the violence is funny, and if you don't take that trip with him, then it's really a hard movie to see, in my opinion.
Well, I didn't have that problem at all. I mean, I would have guessed that I would be the one of the three of us.
I would have guessed that,
Yeah,
but
me too.
I guessed it, and I guessed wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You win nothing. The
Was it a zinger? I didn't even hear it.
I didn't intend to be. The thing that I'm concerned about is it just feels like the sort of lovable loser who decides to be a superhero for real thing has been done, and I loved Kick-Ass so much that it just felt like.
Well, and also Special. I mean, there's been.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're only 3 people that saw Special, but. Oh, we're not.
Right.
Or they saw us seeing Special. I think.
Yeah, they might have done that.
No, that was a great movie. I hope more people saw it, but it just feels a little bit done as far as the he dressed up in a real thing and.
This was written before the Kick-Ass comic was even written.
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot more stuff that we will see, and that's sort of all the stuff that we've seen so far. But next week we're actually going to show you a sort of recap of all the stuff because Saturday is supposedly going to be
you guys are all going to be in tomorrow
day.
in Hall H, right? Where all the crazy stuff is happening.
Hall H. So we will see you next week for the rest of that. I hope you guys are ready for this thing.
Hopefully you guys all got a card that was an awesome drawing of us.
And have for the last couple years.
Yes. That's the third year in a
Take
row.
that card to room 6AB, and you're
Don't
getting
do
a
that.
free.
They'll be like, they said we get a
Everybody
card.
walk next door. No. The amazing artist, Dennis Calero, who's here tonight, drew that and has done so for the last 3 years. You may know him from his work with Marvel and DC. He did the amazing X-Men Noir series, both of them. Legion of Superheroes he drew on, lots of other great stuff.
Close friend and colleague.
And his new creative partner, Todd Stashwick. Let's bring them up here.
Come
they
on
have a
up.
cool announcement. I think just seating.
I think Jeff and I missed the jacket thing.
There was a dress code that we weren't aware about.
Please have a feeling.
You guys probably recognize Todd from numerous films and TV appearances.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing a really cool new project.
Hey, thanks.
And what is that? Tell us about it.
Well, I'll give a brief of the history of it. I was on Heroes the end of last season. I was the multiplying man. And the most kick-ass thing that came out of that is the fact that on the Heroes website there was a comic. And the way they introduced my character was in comic form, and Dennis was the artist on that comic, and my mind was blown. Because, like, as an actor, you keep your Emmys. I want to be in a comic, and that was really awesome. And so I tweeted him. I'm like, dude, this is amazing.
And I'm like, okay. So you're talking to mine.
I don't need a microphone.
I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
It's on
fixer.
now? Okay. So, and I'm on Twitter, and there's this guy that has, cut out his face as his Twitter icon, and I'm like, who's this guy?
My avatar was
Todd
the
Stashwick's
drawing that he did.
His face as his avatar. Oh, it's Todd Stashwick. There you go. That's interesting.
So then he sends a tweet that says, "Hey, I'm going to be in LA. Do you want to grab coffee?" And
And he
Duh.
just sees it as a normal conversation. I'm being totally obnoxious. I'm like, hey, I'm glad you like it. I'm going to LA. Let's get some coffee. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay.
So hence we met and we just started talking all things geek. We have a lot of similar tastes in video games and comics and movies. I'm an absolute fan.
Todd is not a false geek prophet.
No.
He's like, yeah, I like the new, I like the Fall of Gilead things going on. Jay Lee is drawing, and I'm like, oh, okay. So he really knows what he's talking about.
Street
Fine.
cred. Right? I met Paul Pope last night.
He did.
I'm very happy.
He was DJing and drinking.
Yeah.
which means he was being Paul Pope.
Wait, so you guys met, hit it off.
Right, and then
found
we were talking ideas, and I've written pilots and I've written screenplays, and he said, "Do you have any ideas?" And I said, "Well, I have this one because I'm always playing villains, but the villains always run the risk of having a bullet in their head at the end of whatever story." And so I thought, well, how can I make the villain the guy? And so I had this idea about the devil being the protagonist of a story, and he's like, "That is cool."
That won't be controversial.
No. We'll be picketing. God hates devils. God hates devils. Right, and so it's that. And
Which
so,
is the biggest thing that we could find to show you.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
There's a lack of giant things at Comic Con.
So we started collaborating on a web comic.
Devil Inside is the name of it.
Yes.
I mean, you guys could obviously read that yourselves. But I'll just be redundant and tell you about it. And it's going to be a web series. You're going to draw it, right?
Well, we're co-writing it, and he is bringing it to life on the page. It's actually going to be a web strip.
Oh,
and
awesome.
it actually already is. It's already out. So we're doing it kind of old school newspaper strip, 4 to 6 panels a week.
Amazing. Wow. And tell us a little bit about, like you said, the devil's the main character.
So the idea is the devil has a crisis of conscience, has a fight with his woman, blasts out of hell, lands in the Nevada desert, and decides he doesn't want to go back. Yeah. The what?
What was that?
I'm from Chicago. And so he decides he wants to go back. Forces in hell want to drag him back. If he doesn't use his mojo, they can't GPS him.
Yeah.
So he's trying not to be the thing that he is while he's searching for this new truth. It's the guy who was one thing, wants to be another, and is got a bounty on his head.
But he's so evil, he can't help but go around and mispronounce the name of the state he's in.
Absolutely.
Nevada.
Evil.
Are you from Nevada? I'm the devil.
Amazing.
We make great hair care products.
That's awesome. So it's on the web.
Yes.
Where can people find it?
www.toddstashwick.com.
Todd Stashwick. So it's
That'll
like
be totally
mustache
easy to
and
spell.
candlewick.
Stashwick, 2 D's in Todd. Yeah.
The reason that we're doing it as a strip, is because we're both working professionals and we want to do something that we could do week in,
busy,
week
busy.
out. So if you go when you get your new comics on New Comic Wednesday, you go to Todd's site and there'll be a new strip from now until the end of time.
Nice.
For free, not even any advertisements, for
So this
free.
is like epic journey. This is not like a comic strip where you're gonna, looking for a laugh every week. It's epic storytelling journey, which is why we're so excited about it.
Serialized, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
In. Dude, I'm in.
Oh, good.
I want to watch it.
Oh, good.
Good. And there's no advertisement, there's no charge. All we ask is if you like it, that you Facebook, you tweet about it, you tell your friends, your email. If you don't like it, shut up.
This is the universal symbol for Twitter.
I love it. Twiddling the thumbs.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Dennis Clark, Todd Stashwick.
Dennis is doing sketches in Artist Alley. We'll be there hawking it all through the weekend. Table FF05.
Can I also announce my other major creation is that my wife is in the audience, is pregnant with our first child.
So, Dennis, I just
Amazing.
want to make sure that you're not also titling that project Devil Inside.
Amazing.
We should just leave. All right, that's it. That's all the time we have.
That was
Thanks for
awesome.
coming.
Thank you so much, dude. If he comes back and his kid's name is Louie, I'm gonna love it.
Q&A time. Q&A.
So we're up for Q&A time.
Well, before we do that, though, we have to say,
Oh, okay, yes.
you guys have probably heard, you can start lining up if you want.
Yeah, start lining up. We love everybody.
You've probably heard us talking.
Sprinting up. Watch the camera. Watch
Yeah,
Mike.
don't
Nobody
hurt each
kill
other.
Mike or eat
Be
Mike.
gentle.
Love it.
You've probably heard us.
Mike.
You've probably heard us talking a lot on our show about Munchkin. Yeah, Munchkin fans in the audience.
Well, we have been honored. Dare say, baffle guest. Which sounds like a Munchkin word,
we
right?
had to invent a word to describe our feelings. We were bafflegasted by meeting John Kovalik, who is the artist who's here tonight.
The artist for all the Munchkins. Stand up, John. Stand up, John. Show your Munchkin shirt. So,
Hopefully there are huge Munchkin fans. I mean, we are huge Munchkin fans.
Yeah.
We have Munchkin stuff to give out. John brought stuff for us to give to you.
And not only that, did us the honor. Thanks so much, guys. Did us the honor of actually creating monster cards out of Dan, Jeff, and myself. I don't know if you can see that. Yes.
Original drawings.
Yes.
Amazing. Incredible.
Yes. No, Dan. The time has passed, Dan. The time has passed. We put them all away. It's in his pocket. So we have some crazy stuff. So if anybody asks a question, we're going to give them some Munchkin stuff.
And if you have not played Munchkin before, there is literally original Munchkin box to learn the game with. If you have played Munchkin before, there's special items to level.
Yeah.
It's incredible amount
So much
of stuff we've got.
It's a rabbit hole. So
let's do it.
So also, real quick, did want to say thank you so much. Snoop Mikey is in the house. And also, amazing. I know. He's like, I love you all. Look. Cheer for me while I videotape you. I love it. And also, we have our friend Graham Hancock from Revision 3 helping out. Thanks so much, Graham.
And Meg,
as well as
the beautiful and talented
Meg Campbell. Dressed as Dr. Girlfriend. Amazing. And also her friend Cheston. I don't know where Cheston went, but he let us in. Thank you, Cheston. If it wasn't for Cheston, we would be still locked out in the hall.
We would still be outside.
Okay, Q&A time is a go. First, say your name, your date of birth. No, I'm just kidding.
Hi, my name is Sherwin.
Hi, Sherwin.
I actually met you guys at the Hilton I made it. I told you guys I wasn't
Oh,
sure if I would make
nice.
it.
Awesome.
Anyway, so in the spirit of creativity here, I wanted to see what kind of scenario you guys would come up with if you were to make your own Old Spice commercial with.
Amazing. First off,
Well, Dan's in a towel right away.
immediately.
And you know, you guys can answer it individually or like if you guys want.
I think we
probably
should
do it
brainstorm.
together. And obviously with as little input from Dan as possible because clearly Dan's in the towel.
But I'm on a boat, and now I'm on a horse.
No, yeah, what happens
Okay,
is...
so that happened.
No, what happens, Alex, is we're running through a forest, and then you realize that we are actually half us, half Dan.
You mean like
You know how isn't he turned into a horseman at some
He's on a horse.
No, he's on a horse. That's another.
We're on a Dan.
No, that's that weird.
No, that's
Wasn't that an
terrible.
Axe commercial?
You're
We're on a Dan?
No. It starts off with you, and then you're running, and then you're on.
Who gave
you're
this
on
guy
my back.
heroin?
I see it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. You're on me, and then I'm. Wait, no.
Yes.
Thank you for that question.
Thank you. Good question. Why don't you come on up?
Grab some.
Have you played Munchkin before? No. Let's give him a Munchkin OG box. It's the box of Munchkin.
Thanks, man.
It's in the box.
She knows.
Actual box. She knows. The box. Next up.
My name is Robert. I'm a rataholic.
Nice.
I didn't know we
like
had
that.
those.
Dude, now we do. Amazing.
No,
Radical.
I think that implies a problem.
No.
This is my first year at Comic Con and my first opportunity to see a live show. I recognize a lot of faces from Dignation last night.
Yeah, baby. Who went to the Dignation show last night? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys should be clapping. Amazing.
I met a lot of people that travel to see the live shows, and I know you guys are accustomed to shooting in Alex's garage, studio. But
You can use the word, but loosely.
my question is, when can we see live TRS on tour on other locations?
Wow. Good question.
We've been wanting to do that for a long time, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
We're going to do a college tour. Remember we were going to do a college
Yeah,
tour?
we want to do like a bus tour,
Yeah.
the totally rad bus across America.
Dude, we were going to try. You remember we were going to get like Guitar Hero? We wanted to be like, let's get to Guitar Hero to sponsor a college bus tour.
Yeah.
And we would pop up tents. I don't know where that came from. But we would do like garage band. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you work for a company,
The bottom line
if anyone
is
here works for a
maybe.
company that wants to sponsor the Totally Rad Show college tour,
Yeah.
CSD, we could go right now.
But basically what we're saying is the only thing standing in our way is any money at all.
Yeah. Because it's just, at the end of the day, it's so hard because we all have other jobs that we do, and this is sort of a labor of love for us, and it's really hard to be like, okay, we're going to peel off for a month, and go do this thing. As much as we would love to be able to do that, it's just hard to peel off for a month to do anything. How can it be free? I don't know. I should have Kevin pay for it.
Yeah, Kevin, if you're here, stand up. Oh, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he had pneumonia.
The good news is we can say we will be at PAX.
Yeah, we're going to be at PAX, so that's a pseudo travel, yeah. Now, have you, sir, played Munchkin before?
I worked at a comic book store. It's mandatory.
Amazing.
mandatory.
Get this man some cool stuff. I don't. Well, that was.
We said it at the same time, though. It sounded awesome.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, no.
Right over here.
No, Dan's on me.
Oh God.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Aaron.
I was curious. Since we're at Comic Con and many people do dress up, I was wondering, what would you guys dress each other up as?
Amazing.
Well, we were thinking about doing the Three Amigos.
Yeah,
We
we
were.
really wanted to, but
Yeah.
we realized that required sewing, so we.
Yeah, and
abandoned
equipment. I don't know, Dan. You know, here's the thing.
Be gentle.
Be gentle. I will be gentle because I'll say I think one of my favorite background images in its epicness is Dan on the cover of The Force Unleashed as that bald sort or you
Dark
made it. You
Apprentice.
did it. The Dark Apprentice.
Apprentice.
I would love to see Dan be able to just sort of saunter around and be Dan and be cold a little, and then have somebody go, hey, yeah, and then have somebody be like, hey, you're the Dark Apprentice for thing, and then just be like, wham!
You mean
strike the fierce pose and be like, holy, that's a.
Did you mean like emotionally distant to people?
Yes, I did. Cold inside.
I think Jeff could be a badass Ash from Army of Darkness.
Yes.
I do that. I think Alex is like 10% to Dragon Ball Z already.
I know. It's true. Especially when my hair is long. So we'd have some. Have you played Munchkin before, or you want to learn?
No, I haven't.
All right, get this man an OG box. We're gonna run out of them. Go.
These are by the way, these are the brand new color versions of the game, which just got released.
Oh my God, that's amazing! I totally forgot
Freaking
about
awesome.
You, John, hooking it up. How are you? Welcome to the Q&A.
We've seen you here before.
Yeah, I'm Joe.
Hi, Joe.
One of my favorite parts of TRS, or not TRS, the screensavers used to be the Mystery Bagger Netcam game. So
Yes.
my request / question is either you could yourself sing it, or you guys can arrange a trio song of it, or
I think
Alex-
solo performance
Okay.
would be just fine.
Oh wait, right now you mean, or like on the show?
Right now, yeah, on the show.
default to, you went to UCLA, I go to UCLA, you guys tell college stories if you really don't want to sing.
Oh no, I'd love
No,
to
he
sing.
wants to sing. He wants
Come
to
on.
sing.
Yeah.
Why don't you
a
sing?
singer.
Wait, let me just see if I can remember the actual words.
It's that time.
It's that time, don't be sad, it's a happy time, it's it's favorite time you'll ever had. That literally are the words. The favorite time you've ever had. It's a mystery bag or Netcam. That's the, there you go, see, there it is. And we've been thinking about that mystery bag or Netcam.
Yeah.
I don't know how we do it. We should do it, we want to do it on TRS, we just don't know how. Love it. Get yourself some swag up in the corner. The pretty lady.
I was gonna say you should try to sing, and we would tell college stories beneath you.
It's that
All right, Goonies shirt. What's going on?
Yes, what's going on? Love those shirts, by the way.
So, first of all, I got to thank you guys for doing the interview earlier.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our
Oh, yeah,
pleasure.
Totally.
Hopefully, with you guys' help, I can get an A.
Good
Yes.
That's my job.
I hope you do get laid. Oh wait, what did you say?
Both.
It's hard to hear all the way up.
I know, yeah. Microphone issues.
But my question
Horrible.
is I'm broke.
Yes.
I have a crappy camera and
Yes.
a lot of ideas, and I
Yes.
really love to start podcasting and doing this. And how do I do that? Like,
Well, the good
With
news is
no
you're
money and
there.
your
No
crappy
money
camera.
and a crappy camera. I mean, and then
We started without any of the ideas.
yeah. All we had was a poop ton of money and these amazing cameras. I wish, God. No, honestly, when we started, I mean, the best thing is find a friend that is really into buying cameras that they can't afford. And that's what that's what we did.
That's what we did.
I mean, literally, when Steve was doing the show, we were like, dude, you spend way too much money on camera equipment. Let's use that camera equipment and make things.
Yeah. It helps to have friends.
It does,
That
it
are
does.
also want to do that. You know.
If you can't provide, you can always find someone to provide the something. So if you're providing the creativity and the content, and someone else has the gear, but they
Yeah.
don't have the content, you hook up with them. Someone else does audio, and they
Yep.
need someone who shoots, or you hook up with. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can assemble the
dream team, as it were. And
It takes more blood, sweat, and tears than anything else. It takes knowing that it's going to start small, and a lot of people aren't going to see it. I mean, and if you can do something that you really like, you'll stick with it, and if you don't, you won't. So
yeah, that's part of the reason why we always say to people like, follow your passion, follow your passion. One, it's going to be a lot easier for you to come up with what it is. And also, it'll be easier to connect with people who share that passion because they can see that comes across very well. But also, it gets you through those times when you're literally making $0 and you're just like, and you've got that one viewer. But you and that viewer are like this.
Yeah.
It's like you and me, bro. We like pottery.
You know what? I would also say too. You know, I always talk about this with directing and stuff. Like, we don't need another podcast. There's a lot of podcasts, so it's like we don't need you to do one. So you need to make something that we want to hear. You know, so
yeah, Dan's saying
that really sounded
please
condescending.
please don't compete with us. Please.
Find your niche. You know, find the thing that, you know, it's one thing to listen to what other people are doing and then just want to do that yourself. It's another thing to listen to what other people are doing and see what they aren't doing and fill that void.
That spin that you can put on it, which I'm just by the nature of you being you is the spin. But just do it. Do it. Sit down in the room and make it.
I want to point out, John just started around passing out, everybody's getting a Munchkin coaster right now, which is super rad.
Wow.
Super rad. It'll come to you. If you haven't gotten it yet, it'll come.
Thanks, dude. Grab a thing.
Yeah. Go.
Grab something. Awesome. All right, next question.
Anyway.
Hello. My name is Don, and you guys mentioned you were going to PAX this coming year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was wondering, I assume you read Penny Arcade if you're going there, but do you have any other webcomics that you guys like to read? Or that
Soon to be
Devil Inside.
Devil Inside.
That's right.
No,
For sure.
Yeah, they left. Don't worry about that. Forget that plug. No, I'm just kidding. We love those guys. I'm totally going to read that, by the way, because we saw some of the stuff that they were working on at their thing. That's one.
PvP, Dork Tower.
Yeah, Jeff's sort of our webcomic guy. There's sort of our comic guy, actually.
What's that? I don't read that, but I should.
Fellowship?
I should.
Interesting. I thought you said the Bible, and I was like, that's an online comic strip now? It's like amazing.
It is, and it's huge.
So yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Hopefully more in the near future.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Come grab swag.
Yep.
From the swag lady. That
What's up, Geek
won't kill
Tyrant?
you.
Hey, hello, I'm Free, and I'm from Geek Tyrant.
How are you?
Hey, how you guys doing? If there was a one particular film project that if you could overtake it and like redo it yourself, I know we hate remakes, but is there something you would wish you could grab your hands on and take care of and push it on your
I think any of us will take any film project at this point. Do you have something that you?
Yeah.
Remaking something that already happened, or
let's just say original material or what would be your dream project in Hollywood? If you
Dan, you probably have one.
unlimited money, whatever.
I mean, like the obvious one is Preacher. You know,
It's not that obvious. I mean, it is to you because that's your thing. But like,
I don't know. Someone else say something, and I'll think of a better one.
I would say that for me, I'd love to take control of the Thundercats franchise and do that shit up right. There's a live-action Thundercats movie waiting to happen, and that would blow some minds. Plus, there could be some pseudo-sexual situations with some cats. I don't know what a pseudo-sexual situation is. Like, is this a sexual situation, or is this just pseudo-sexual?
It's when it's mostly a cat. Is it pseudo?
I love it.
Because we can all
But
get
yeah,
pseudo.
dude, Thundercats. I'd love to do some
Do you need
stuff.
more time?
No, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
The Last Starfighter.
Yes.
And which I totally have a take on. I remember talking to you guys about it. And The Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is one of my favorite books. And the writer of the book is actually making the movie now, which I can't. I mean, that's going to be awesome. But I would have loved to have done that as well. So there you go. Those are mine.
I'd really like to do actually a good version of The Godfather. Because
Who is this guy?
Who's gonna do a show with him?
This is like. Is that your freaking theme music kicking in? We're like, who is that? Who is this guy?
You want to know who this guy is?
Amazing.
We're getting sucked up. Don't look at the light, Alex.
Dude, I'm a moth. I just go. Great
All right,
question. Great
yes.
question. Grab some swag. That was awesome.
We should have had Daft Punk do our soundtrack.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
How are ya?
my name's Brandon.
Have you guys been locked in Hall H by Dan, or have you gotten to blow any money?
We have been locked in Hall H by Dan.
Locked in Hall H by Dan. And to his credit, we saw some cool stuff.
Yeah. Saw some.
What was the surprise thing that happened? Oh, it was the Haunted Mansion.
That's
tomorrow there are going to be some surprises.
We will be locked in Hall H. Come by. We may have snacks.
If we can
And
get in.
that's actually a lie.
If we can get in.
But if you have snacks, come to us.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
We need snacks.
We have free stuff, and by we have free stuff, please give us free stuff.
Give us free stuff. Hey, if they have it.
Come on.
Great question.
Thanks,
Get
dude.
some cool. An awesome T-shirt.
Yes, handheld high. What's up? Did you get mom buttoned? Yes. I love it.
Our moms are buttoning everyone.
Literally, our moms made buttons to hand out to people. Amazing. Dude, that's a button held high, handheld high button.
Oh, it's so meta.
It's so meta. It's funny. Not even funny. Hi.
Hello, anime character.
Hello.
What?
Yes.
Blue hair.
I'm losing my voice. I have to apologize because I was screaming so much in Hall H yesterday.
What were you screaming about?
Everything.
All right. Everything? You're just indiscriminate screamer?
Yes.
That's what I do. I just scream.
I do. And I'm known to be really good at it on roller coasters especially.
Oh,
nice.
So, but I always lose my voice at the end, and that's what this felt like.
How do people know when you're really enthusiastic about something?
I think they know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just know. It's when she stops screaming.
Yeah, she gets really quiet when things are exciting. She's like,
oh God. Yeah, she's like.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry.
basically it.
Go ahead.
But my name is Alora. I actually met you guys at the improv show.
Yeah,
Dan,
I
you
remember.
remember? And Dan gave me a button.
Nice.
And I was really happy.
Good question.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't
Were
know.
you happy?
I did believe she was
Dan,
happy.
your
I
thoughts?
was super happy.
Love it.
But anyways, the guy earlier kind of stole my first question.
Which guy? Where is he?
Where is he? Get him.
It was the one about like who you would dress up as, but then I came up with a new question.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
Somebody steal it, quick.
Okay. No one, please. So basically, I know that at Comic Con, like you meet a lot of people who are super famous, and I know that I get really nervous when I meet these people, and do like stupid things and say stupid things. So I want to know, like, what's your most embarrassing moment that happened like during Comic Con, and like, cause I know that maybe you guys are like regular guys, which is what I like about you. So.
Well, you have no idea the appropriateness of this question because we've had a very recent light go on. We had a brainstorm about this.
I had an epiphany. Recently, I think all of us get a little stiff when we like recognize someone. We're like, and you like want to say something, but you're not. What do I do? And I had a hard. One of my biggest regrets is John Woo. I saw. I was working on one of my first movies and out in LA, a short film, not like a And John Woo was right there, and I like daydreamed for like 2 days about how if I just gone over to him, I could have like brought him in to the screening room and showed him the movie and he would have loved it, and we would have like hung out and like. That never happened because I never said anything. It could have happened had I said something.
And he's like the perfect guy where you can just go woo, and if he reacts good, you can just be like, no, I wasn't trying. I
just fell over a bit.
So I realized what you have to do, and I realized this recently. I was at the dog park in LA, and I saw Caesar Milan. I'm a big fan of the Dog Whisperer. I'm sure people are. And I just, instead of normally freezing and thinking about what to say and then thinking, oh, they get that asked out all the time, whatever, I just said, hey, Caesar, thank you, whatever. And we had this great, he smiled, and it made me feel so good. So I had, and then today, when we went into our hotel, we saw Joe Kaczynski, the director of Tron, who no one knew who he was at the time, and I was like, oh my God, I could say, and I didn't, I froze.
Yeah.
But then
froze.
after that,
After
that, who did we see?
I don't remember.
And where was I?
You weren't there.
No, I know that. I mean, where the hell was I?
You're lagging behind.
You gotta be a blurter. You gotta just say it. You just don't think about it. The moment you see the person, just say it, and they'll say, oh, it was Michael Sheen.
It was Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
You're like, Michael Sheen, and he's like, hey, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, it worked.
Yeah, we were all like,
we have converted the blurters.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it is the best. I mean, like, it's really awesome when somebody's like, dude, I love your stuff. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I love you for loving the stuff. And like, what do you do?
We always love it when people say hi to us, but then it's like when we see other people, we don't say hi to them because we're like, what? No. That's really hypocritical of us. Also, when you're not the blurter, when you think about it and you internalize it for a second, it always comes off as weird and planned, and you're like, hey. It's like
That's what you're. If that's what you're planning.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know what you're planning to do to these poor people, Jeff.
That's
no,
true.
but it is true. When you you can think yourself into a box, and really all it is
Which is
just
what you did, by the way.
I did
you
do that with
blurted.
you, actually.
You said Dan, and I was like, yes.
She's like, no, I planned that for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You didn't feel the tranquilizer?
No, I did that
happened?
with Alex too, because I was there before anyone, and then I saw Alex running down the stairs. I said, Alex, TRS is awesome.
And I was like, awesome, I love you. And then I fell, I think I tripped. Yes, great question.
Excellent.
Come grab some swag.
Nice shirt, too.
Hi, I'm Bryce, big fan. Thanks for
Bryce.
convincing me to go to the show. Dan, appreciate it. Indignation was great
Wait,
last night,
what?
Alex.
You convinced him to go to Dignation?
No.
Yes.
To here.
And our show.
Oh,
No,
good.
we often have to convince people to watch Dignation.
You. +1.
We do that,
I feel like I just got attacked by your Munchkin card.
Anyways, my question is, do you guys have any music you are really enthusiastic about? Any reviews? Because I know you guys don't get to review music on the show. Is there anything that's been catching your attention lately?
Yes. Go ahead, Dan.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that's why we don't talk about music, because we're not music enthusiasts. Though we all like music.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we always get that question, why do we? We're not as passionate about music as we are about.
We're just not as knowledgeable, really.
And knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not knowledgeable about what we do talk about, but one of my favorite bands in the world is called Stars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they just came out with a new album.
Yes.
Somebody literally stood up. That was awesome.
That was a star.
She didn't just cheer. She went like this.
Reaching for the stars.
That was the most incredible, because it had nothing to do with me. It was just her like, I've been validated.
I love it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, they have a new album called Five Ghosts, which is spectacular, as are all their albums. It's a double album, actually.
Nice.
So that's what I've been listening to lately.
I just sort of turn on the satellite radios.
Oh, also Mumford & Sons.
Yep.
Love them.
She did it again. You're on her. You got it.
What's,
I love you by proxy.
I like that. That's good.
you love me by proxy? Oh, that's fine. That's cool. No, I bet
Amazing.
I
You
bet
guys have a thing.
actually, I bet my proxy gets a lot of action.
Your proxy comes home at the end of the day. Is like, geez,
I'm like,
Jeff.
Proxy, tell me about it.
You're like, Jeff, I can't. I gotta go to bed, man.
I have a
got
question for
6:30.
Jeff. When's the stand-up tour?
I love it.
I'm only good when I sit. Sorry.
It goes. Good question,
Terrible.
bud. And for me, I listen to the satellite radio and like stuff comes on. I'm like, yeah, it's like one of them was like naked tree people or something like that. I don't know. I'm like, I gotta.
What station are you listening to? They're like,
Existential. It's existential. No, but I always hit the thing and I'm like, oh yeah, that's that one. Like Listomania, like that song, Listomania.
Phoenix, yeah.
It's like anytime that comes in, it's like Listomania, and I'm like, what? I know the song back and forth, and I hit the thing and I'm like, what is this, Phoenix? And then I'm like, I gotta remember that. And then the next
Or you
thing
did.
pops on, I'm
You
like,
just did.
No, he yelled
No, he
Phoenix.
thought they were naked tree people.
No, tree people or tree people. Good question. Now you see why we don't do music.
The last two albums I've listened to are the Steve Martin Bluegrass album, and then Dave Chen from Slash turned me on to Rodrigo E. Gabriela.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
They whack the guitar and go.
They're amazing. Yeah. So yeah.
Let's slap a little bass.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Hi, my name is Steven Petrovelli. I just wanted to thank you guys for helping make Nerd the new cool.
Yeah!
Little by little, we're whittling away. I know, I see the Nerd's the new cool shirt. Booyah.
My question is, probably one of my favorite parts about the show is that you guys don't know what each other is going to think about, whether it be movies or TV or television.
2012. What's up, 2012?
I was going to ask, what was
it's
the
2012.
Wait, who here also
I was gonna say
really dug
besides-
2012?
See, we're there. Fubar, I hate you.
I love how defensive. It was fun! All right. It didn't kill anybody.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what reactions to a property has surprised you from other cast members? I was going to say, besides 2012.
Yeah, right.
Where
Besides
Dan
2012 is
Recently.
the tough.
Yeah,
we did something
2012 to each
recently.
other. That's become a verb on the.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys know. We in our just normal lives we go. Did you
There was some
2012?
video game that we
me
just
and
did.
him were shocked that he didn't like Predators.
Oh, you 2012 does some
Yeah.
Predators.
I got a lot of Twitter support on that though. It's nice with Twitter when you're the one odd guy out and they're like, oh, I really agreed with you, and you're like, oh, thank you.
You're like, thank you, Twitter.
At home, I'm like,
amazing.
But you know the thing about us not talking about our opinions on the show, or until we shoot the show.
It's a very bland show.
It makes it. We go to see the movies often together, and often together with other people, and it makes for the most terrible experience for those people.
Yeah.
Because we can't talk about what we just all experienced together. Yeah. We walk out and it's awkward and weird.
Yeah, Meg knows. Meg knows.
Yeah, but Alex is a leaker, though. You like to leak a little bit. You're like, it's funny. I was just gonna say something about that, and then I didn't. Yeah. You like to leak out a little information, like, yeah, it's kind of like that movie we just saw, right? I mean, I don't know if I like that or not, but.
I thought that was called being subtle, Dan. That was just subtly imparting my knowledge.
Here's Dan watching a movie he hates. And here's Dan watching a movie he loves. He's like
really going on in here,
He's
dude.
like stoned,
Yeah, it's
man.
all in
He's
the
like,
eyebrows.
If he could play poker while watching a movie, you would be amazing.
Yeah, it's true. Jeff, on the other hand.
Yeah, I'm not amazing.
Jeff's like, and he'll do this. He'll go, oh god damn it. What is that?
That's true.
What even does that mean?
That's true. I do that.
So accurate.
It's really true.
But then when
so accurate.
So accurate.
When I like a movie, I'm like this though.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. So yeah, Predators
sort of
probably.
a recent one.
Yeah.
Thanks,
man. Get some cool.
We got some
What's up, dude?
good questions. What's up, bro?
My name's Alan. I was waiting in here for like 11 hours, so I'm really excited.
11 hours in here?
Yeah.
Amazing. Get that man a giant Cthulhu thing.
Yeah.
There's only 2 of them, and we were like, we got to hold these for something. Yeah. 11 hours. We'll give you the giant stuff.
Thanks, Mom, I guess.
What's
right?
up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
No, dude.
Was the door locked in some way, or were you not able to get out?
We couldn't get downstairs because I was under 21 for autographs and stuff.
Amazing.
Thank
Did
you,
you
and
get
thank you,
sandwiches.
Mom. That's awesome.
That's a mom. That's intense.
When I was a kid, I'm sorry. When I was a little younger than you, my mom used to take me to comic book conventions. Yeah.
Amazing. You get that when you're done with your question.
My mom used to take me to comic book conventions, and she would like stand in line for me and do all that cool stuff. So you have an awesome mom.
Yeah.
I had one.
Amazing. All right, fire off, buddy.
So this is sort of like a competition question, sort of.
I love it.
If you guys could do anything to another person in the
Kill them. Wait, what?
podcast, and then have them go out and have them like keep it on for like a week or whatever, like when you guys shaved Batman and
Glenn's head.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then have them go out in some public place. What would you do to them, and where would you have them go?
Amazing question. Can
I think about this for like a week?
I know, right? Well, the Glenn thing was I don't know if you guys all saw the Glenn thing, but Hippie Glenn, who is our Mike, but does way crazier things. No offense, Mike, but we've never asked you to do crazy things. Maybe he would. But we just all of a sudden got onto this thing of this guy had Batman shaved in his head, and we were like, that's awesome, I would totally do that. And Glenn was like, I'd totally do that. And we were like, wait, you just said you'd totally do that? And then he was like, I thought we were all saying that. And we were like, well, but there's no way. But really, you would? And then we literally, I think we paid him $1,400. Everybody in the room like pooled money, and we're like, I think I might have like some money. Let's put it in a pile. And he was like, no, stop. Wait, all right, $1,400, I'll do this. So we literally took him into the bathroom, and the best part was Kevin said, I'm really good at this. And I was like, wait, first off, how did you get this? And he was like, no, dude, I'm really good at this. And he was not good at all. Poor Glenn had this like sad pumpkin on the back of his head. And he was like, it's totally Batman. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Kevin's never seen Batman, has he?
Never. And then he had to go outside because it was his hair.
I would make Dan shave his head. Oh, wait.
I was going to make a joke about his coat. But I like your coat. I actually do.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's tough because there's a lot of different things. I'm trying to think of what would be the most embarrassing.
What's swimming around up here is like something with Jeff in a Transformers outfit. Amazing.
Yeah.
And a Michael Bay Transformers outfit. It's got like a million parts.
And I would make you. I know what I would make you do. Like proselytize a shield.
Because in my head, like Chickless.
Yeah.
Like Chickless and be like, the shield
That'd
doesn't.
be cool.
Yeah, like have him on the street signs or the street corner saying, "I need money. I love 2012." Just like a cup.
No, you guys should have said you should make me dress up as the wave from the Perfect Storm.
The wave from the Perfect Storm.
It's a joke from
Amazing.
The joke that only we get.
Great question, and we come get the stuffed Cthulhu, and also
Stuffed
give him one of the OG boxes so he can learn to play Munchkin. I don't know if he had
11 hours, everybody.
11 hours, you get 2 things. Easy.
Amazing.
Amazing. That's a really cool Cthulhu too, by the way.
Cool.
Or it's like
got
a cute
wings.
Cthulhu.
Tiny.
Ready? Cute Cthulhu. Anyway, next up.
My name is Nate.
Last question.
Oh, last question.
You were the last question.
I know. Sorry, guys.
There's more stuff, so
Yeah. We got something cool we need to get to.
I'm just letting you know that I ditched the Scott Pilgrim screen tonight to be here.
Amazing.
Yeah, and all my friends are calling me lame, but this is a once-a-year thing, and Scott Pilgrim will be out in 2 weeks, so.
That guy gets a Cthulhu. It's the last Cthulhu, but he skipped Scott Pilgrim for this.
What I love about your show so much, since it's a lot of it's you're like late 20s, early 30s. A lot of your show's rooted in nostalgia.
It's good. It's good.
Some of us
A lot of
are.
your show's rooted in like 90s, 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Which I love. And I was wondering if there's like a game or a movie that you're most afraid to revisit from your childhood.
Oh, you told me to avoid. There was one you told me to avoid just recently. Like, don't watch that. Don't watch that.
Just recently.
What was it?
Don't know.
Amazing.
Well, there's stuff. I mean, we talk about that stuff all the time. About does it hold up? Does it not hold up? Oh, I just watched
Predator.
Predator does hold up.
Does hold up.
But I
Predator.
watched Running Man also, and it.
Oh, really? I fear for Total Recall.
No,
that's
gotta hold up, dude. Come
I'm
on.
just saying I fear. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'm just saying.
Oh, you know the biggest one that was a major letdown that I revisited? Major letdown? The original Clash of the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I'm sorry. Oh, no,
you lost her. You lost her. Your proxy's gone. Oh. She's like, I gotta know. I'm leaving.
My proxy is gonna be so pissed.
He's gonna get home and be like, bro, what did you do with that one chick? I was locked. It was a lock.
I'm gonna walk into the room and he's gonna be like, well, you're finally home.
I will tell you a bizarre movie, a movie that does not hold up, and it feels completely bizarre watching it now. And it's not obvious. You're gonna go like, why? That should be good. But if you think that, then you haven't seen it recently. Top Gun is a really weird movie, dude. They're like,
you hate volleyball?
Dan, I hate volleyball.
Amazing.
Dan, I have one word for you.
Weird.
I have one word for you.
Amazing. But you know what movie holds up the best out of every 80s movie that I revisited recently? And I know you guys agree, or Jeff has revisited recently, Overboard.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. Yeah. How many Overboard fans do we have?
Comedies.
All the ladies. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Which they are remaking, I believe.
I will say though, I probably comedies are probably easier to withstand the test of time. I'd say than like a sci-fi.
But some of
or
that comedy is so
thriller.
of the time. I mean, I just rewatched Caddyshack too.
Yeah.
And
As well,
I mean,
you
I love. Yeah,
Because
exactly.
2 is great. I love 2.
Well, no, but the original is still great. I still love it, and it's amazing. But I think for somebody that's never seen it before, it probably would be like, because one of the big jokes is the guy pulls out a telephone on the golf course. It's like, what? Weird.
Oh yeah, right. That's
Nobody
funny.
does that, you know.
That is funny.
It doesn't hold up.
That's a little timely.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, dude. Well, thanks
Get
so
a
much.
thing?
Sorry, we gotta cut the. But here's the thing. How many of you? Well, I was just gonna say, how many people have seen the show? And I was like, what? Really? That was gonna be my segue. How many people have seen the show?
Well, not many people, but has anyone here seen an old miniseries that aired in 2006 called The Lost Room?
Yeah.
Well, we
love it so much.
If you haven't, it's time.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Hopefully you own it now.
Most of you gave a DVD of it to, and thank you for that, Lionsgate.
Lionsgate, yes.
Yeah, Lionsgate gave us.
So we are privileged and honored and extremely excited to bring up the creators of The Lost Room, Christopher Leone and Laura Harcum. I don't know where they are.
Good game. We're gonna get pizza later. Oh man, I would kill pizza right now because we haven't eaten.
So, I feel like Dan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I have to be really funny.
I was just gonna say, I'm scared now because Dan's in the funny chair.
Yeah.
Can you give
like,
me
so?
Can you give me your jacket? It's cold over here.
So, Christopher and Laura, first of all, why don't you, I've tried to explain the premise of The Lost Room numerous times on the show. But you guys can do a much better job of that. So if you can, for those who haven't seen the show, what is the show about?
Well, unfortunately, it takes about 5 minutes to explain the whole show, but I'll do it as fast as I can. The show's about this guy named Joe Miller, who's a police detective. It's Peter Krause in the show. And in the course of this investigation, he finds this old motel key, right? And the motel key, he finds out, will essentially open any door into this motel room that doesn't exist, right? And when he comes out of this motel room, he can come out of any door he can think of, right? So he can go in, in San Diego and come out in Paris, and so it becomes this weird sort of de facto teleportation machine. And then what he finds is that the room has all these weird properties, and one of the weird properties is anything in the room, the entire room will reset every time you go inside. So, if you paint the walls and rip the sheets off the bed, next time you go in, the room's all back to how it was. But as a consequence, nothing stays in the room, right? So if anything you leave in there vanishes. And so I don't think I'm giving too much away. So at the end of the first hour, his daughter vanishes in the room. And so the miniseries is about Joe Miller trying to get his daughter back. And what he finds is that this key is just one of 100 objects that came out of this room that do really weird stuff. And some which are really useful, some which aren't, right? So one of the objects is there's a pencil, right? If you tap the pencil on a table, a penny falls out. That's it, right? So you could make $500 a day if you just, tap a pencil all day long, but it'll drive you insane eventually. Or there's a comb that'll stop time for 10 seconds, and and that could come in really useful. So
right, the comb doesn't stop time for an hour a day or whatever, 10 seconds. So, but what's great about the show is how it explores the idea of if you could stop time for 10 seconds, how many ways could you use that? In a very X-Men comic booky way, right? So, we love the show. Jeff has referenced it numerous times about rules and how sci-fi is as good as the rules that it establishes and all that stuff. You guys are screenwriters, and you guys also have a comic book called We Kill Monsters. So you've done a lot of different things. What attracts you to science fiction as opposed to other genres? And that we mentioned the rules. What are your mantras in setting out to write a series like this or sci-fi in general?
I think it's cool ideas. We're idea based. So whatever the kind of mind-blowing, cool idea is, because we also do comedy, and those and our comedic scripts also tend to be based on an idea that's off kilter and cool, and then it's exploring that idea. And so whatever the best medium is, and a lot of times the cool ideas are the sci-fi ideas.
I love that you're shooting for mind-blowing.
Yeah, we really need to aim higher.
I know, right? It's let's just shoot for mind-blowing, and if it gets really crazy, it'll just kill people. It's we came up with the idea, but no, the guy came up with it and fell over. It's like that Monty Python sketch. Nobody can hear the idea. It kills people.
Chris, you're going to say?
No, I was going to say, I think also, I really like science fiction where there's actually the least amount of science fiction necessary to to make it cool. You know what I mean? Lost Room, it's almost like the Twilight Zone. It breaks one rule, which is that, these weird objects have weird powers. And after that, it just plays it out okay, well, how would people react to that?
Yeah, so things that are based in reality, but have one element that is not based in reality, one element that's broken.
As opposed to some TV series that have many things that break many realities and then don't really
and go to live in a magic place
where magic
happens.
Anyway, but we can have a whole show about that.
Yeah, similar titling.
So right. So one of the saddest aspects, or one of the best aspects of The Lost Room is that it's so great that it was so disappointing that it ended so suddenly and abruptly.
We've been recommending it on the show for the last little while again, as we did when we first watched it. And the thing that we get more than anything else is, oh my God, I wish there was more of that.
Right.
And we have all wished there was more of that.
Yes,
as well.
definitely.
So,
funny thing, we're sitting on a
Please give us more of that.
Yeah. So, is there any hope that we could possibly get more of that in some form or another?
Well, it's so funny that you asked.
Yes. We have an announcement to make.
A world exclusive Totally Rad show announcement?
Yes, it is.
How unexpectedly rad!
Wow, now that's the funny scene.
Damn it, it's switching. It's the Lost Room.
Yes.
Well, basically thanks to Red 5 Comics, who put out our first comic, We Kill Monsters, and Lionsgate, we're going to put out a Lost Room comic book.
Yeah!
I'm so excited to see what's next.
So amazing. But we need to know, is this picking up where the series left off? Are we going to have the same characters? Is it new stuff? What we got?
It's a little bit of both. We're picking up a year after the events of the miniseries. Ooh. And we are following, we had a lot of stories that we want to tell in the Lost Room universe. So the first comic book is going to feature a new protagonist, and it's the new person who gets the key, so the new motel man.
Yeah, our idea with an ongoing series, like if it had become an ongoing series, what we always wanted to do is actually follow the story of the key. So like that actually every season you'd actually have a new protagonist who gets the key and actually have a whole new set of problems and like background and
awesome.
and a lot of the secondary characters like Weasel and Wally would kind of still be around, but so the show would always actually get reshuffled every season.
So a new protagonist, but some of the same guys from that original journey show up in season 2.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it season 2 or is it? Do we know that? I don't know.
We're calling it season 2, and it's nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, there wasn't a season 1 because it was a mini series,
Right.
but we'll just go with.
We'll just say it's season 0.5.
Are you guys finding that because you are doing a comic, you have even more control and more freedom to take the show where you want it to go, or?
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really just going to be us,
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Excellent. And when is it coming out? What's the deal?
It's coming out next year,
Okay.
and we don't have a specific date
Okay.
yet. But
Okay.
but next year, definitely by Comic-Con next year.
Okay.
Amazing.
All right.
Comic-Con 2011.
I highly recommend
Check it out.
grabbing Christopher and Laura, and if you had any questions at all about the Lost Room, grill them and ask them why this happened and why that happened, and they will be happy to answer those. Or if you want things to happen in season 2,
plant the seed.
Plant the seeds.
And we're going to be signing our We Kill Monsters comic tomorrow at the Red 5 booth. I think it's like 11 to 1, and then like 3 to 5.
And then 3 to 5. So if you guys, if anybody has a question for us or wants to check out We Kill Monsters, or if you got a Lost Room DVD and you want us to sign it, just swing on by the booth.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. All right. Cool. All right. I think
It's still odd that it's Dan now to the left of me, Joker to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle again.
Let's figure out a way to give them more stuff.
Let's give away some more stuff.
First thing we should do is, when we talked about Munchkin, what we have to do?
End the show. Wrap up.
Yes, I know. But when we talked about Munchkin, a lot of people cheered.
Yes.
Who here is the biggest Munchkin fan?
All right, that's about 1, 2, 3, 4,
She's standing
5.
up,
I see it. Somebody back there
standing
says
up.
I have an iPhone app. She is standing up. What are we giving away? Something big?
There's something
card.
really freaking awesome.
Oh, we got to give that to her.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely. Come on up here, lady.
You're getting the Totally Go Up a Level show. Go up a level, totally.
An original
This is
piece
an
of
original
art.
Original Don
John
Kovalik.
Kovalik drew complete original piece of
Yes.
art. It's a functional card.
It's a functional
in the game.
card.
It's a Totally Rad Show Munchkin card, which
Yes.
I kind of want to take it from you.
We had to actually hold Jeff back and let him give this away.
It's not easy for me.
Give me a hug for it.
Give her a hug.
I'll give her a hug for free.
I love that.
You can keep it.
So the other thing is, and this is what's great, is that John actually said if you get Steve Jackson to sign any of the cards that he draws for you, they become tournament ready, which is awesome. So then your friend can't be like, what the hell is that? You can be like, sorry, Kovalik, Steve Jackson.
So that's all the time we
Thanks so
have.
much.
But we are
Yes.
going to be hanging out. We're not doing the meetup thing, or whatever. So we're just going to walk out and
All the other people that put your hands up and said you love Munchkin, there's still Munchkin.
Go see Megan.
baby
Don't
swag.
kill her.
Please come over and grab
Yes.
some.
And we will be
just
taking
be hanging out.
outside. So thank
Yeah.
you so
Thank you
much
for
for coming,
coming.
Comic-Con. So Comic-Con was crazy, crazy, crazy epic this year. Before we say goodbye, we do want to thank our sponsors, Squarespace.com. If you have any need to do a website at all, you got to go to Squarespace.com. Squarespace started in 2003 with a small capital from Anthony's dad, and then he blew it up into the Squarespace that we know and love today. But they just got their first round of funding July 14th. Raised a bunch of funding, and they're going to blow that site out. So get your site now, early and often. Head over to squarespace.com and use the coupon code TRS when you check out. 10% off the lifetime of your site.
You know, there are a ton of video games here, right over in that
full
corner.
force.
We just saw Red Faction Armageddon. We saw a bunch of Capcom stuff. Crazy games coming out.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really expensive to play all those games. If you're like me, you want to play every single one. A great way to do that and still stay affordable is Gamefly.com. They do subscriptions to video games, $15.95 a month. You can play over 7,000 titles that they've got. You get the next one in the mail, and then there's no postage cost, there's no late fees for as long as you want to keep it. Send it back when you're done, they send you the next one.
Amazing.
Works out great, and you can get a 2-week free trial by going to Gamefly.com/TTRS.
Nice.
And Netflix.com.
Obviously, Netflix, man. Netflix fan.
Head on over to Netflix.com. You can subscribe to renting movies and television shows delivered right to your door in literally, folks, and figuratively, one business day. Or you can stream them instantly into your PC, PS3, Xbox, iPad, iPhone, whatever. We highly recommend, you know, Salt had a big weekend, potentially. We don't know at this point. But everyone's raving about Salt. One of the guy's first movies, Dead Calm, is an instant HD stream, and it's one of my favorite thrillers, one of the best thrillers, Dead Calm. So head on over to Netflix.com/TRS to get a free trial, and then it's $8.99 to get your movies 2 ways.
Love it, love it, love it. So Comic-Con, huge this year. So big that by the time we did our panel, which was what you saw in this episode, way more stuff happened right afterwards. So stick around. Next week, we're going to be covering a recap of all the stuff we weren't able to talk about on the Comic-Con panel. That is it for this week's edition.
There's so many things I want to go buy.
Of the Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albright.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
We're going to go shopping.
Woohoo!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 270. What? Wait, what's the number?
Do it again, because I was not.
I'm gonna. You weren't ready. What's the number again?
175.
175. Okay, here we go.
Guys, look at this comic book I just got.
Holy crap!
It's giant size.
Huge.
It's giant.
Is that an annual?
It's an annual.
So, Alex, I always get so confused.
Oh no, that's dead me.
It looks exactly like you.
It looks exactly like me
Hi,
this time in the morning.
Hey, I'm over here.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah.
Damn. Highly effeminate and a 1 octave higher Dan.
Don't get my lower half.